I wonder, does he really need a doctor to get his vertebrae fixed? Because mine is not in the right spot. But if I stretch it out enough, I can feel it. Yes, I felt it. That felt pretty good. Oh, don't worry. It felt pretty good on my spine, of course. No, it's not dark. Why? Because, I don't know. I'm just saying that as an opinion. But I do believe that my bones and my muscles are ready to go fight and punch crime with Batman in the face. Because this is Arkham Twin Days. Hi there, viewers. I am Leo Wolverine, your game commentator and founding member of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance, as we are going to continue our story of the Dark Knight Rises movie story in progress. This is part or episode number 4. So, let's begin. Where do I start off? Oh yes, the prison thing. Okay, the prison. So, something about Bane talked to about Bruce Wayne, because even though he knows Bruce Wayne's identity, whose name is Batman, because Bruce Wayne, he says, "Why don't you just kill me?" And Bane says, You don't see a death. As a matter of fact, you embrace it. Very good for you. So, yeah, he embraces death instead of fearing death. Even though it's just, come on, really? You embrace death instead of enjoying it? I guess he enjoys death instead of fearing death, I suppose. So, what does he have to do? So, he shows, Bane shows Bruce Wayne that there's like this TV monitor, that he's now from somewhat other country. I don't know which country he's in, but I'm not so sure. So, now that Bruce Wayne is in, I mean, he can move his head and all, but he can't get up because his back is broken, because his vertebrae has been put out of place because Bane broke his back. That's not broken. He just, how do I say, dislocate his spine, his vertebrae or his spine, which is not really good for those who feeling up to get up so fast and so quick. You want to take up like really slowly. So for that matter, and then when Bane says, "And when all of Gotham's reckoning has been fully purged and completed, then, and only then, you have my permission to die. And then we'll have a spot of tea. Yippee!" And then you hear Bruce Wayne screaming because, yeah, his spine is like really hurting. Yeah, definitely feels like nightfall, if you want to know, because at least there's no Azrael on the third movie of The Dark Knight Rises. Of course, you see the Batman comic books about Azrael, the Angel of Death thing. So yeah, Azrael, which is and there is Michael Lane and Jean Paul Valley. Jean Paul Valley is the one who went completely insane about that, because he believes he is Azrael, which he is, because the Angel of Death known as Azrael, or for the common do-gooder who wants to work with Batman, who has the same identical moves like his, which I don't want to explain too much about. So, for that matter, now that Bruce Wayne is stuck in the prison of the cell, because then he see like a couple of doctors. One of them used to be a medic or some kind of doctor who works on something to do with I don't know, maybe something useful or something iconic, or I don't know, of his job occupation. Yeah. On one day, he told an interesting story, but he was going to tell that later. Of course, Bruce is hearing these the people about chanting, and then he's saying what he sees. As he's saying something, those who want to get out of the prison, they just want to start to climb up that way, but no one has ever made it. And Bruce Wayne says, "Has anyone ever made it?" He says, "Only one." And it was a child. And but that was a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. But he's gonna find out sooner or later, because it's going to be someone you might expect. Okay, now we move back to Gotham City. So for that, now we move back to Gotham City, and now, now things are starting to go up. Remember when I said that now that Miranda has in control of Wayne Enterprises? I mean, how did Bane get there all of a sudden so fast and quick, like from all the way across around the world? I mean, okay, you see Bane in the prison where he visits, and the next thing you know, he's in Gotham City in like less than 15 minutes. Which is, okay, we got a continuity error. So Bane is like the Flash. Okay, why don't you rub your voice with your own molecules and see how fast you speak? No, wait a minute, I got it. You're not the Flash. It's just, I don't get it. But I guess it's continuity, so I'm guessing some of the producers or the directors say, what the heck, we'll just say that Bane just went from the prison to Gotham City in less than 15 minutes, so that works. Or they just cut the clips out from location to location, which that works too as well, okay? So that is not part of continuity error. That is a part of movie clipping, or movie editing, if you want to add. Or convert the movie by saying he's in this prison now, he went to Gotham City in less than 15 minutes ago. So the directors might have thought about this, and they say it works. So now that Bane has wanted to take prisoners, and finding about a nuclear energy, and he wants to take board members, and he says, I won't, and Lucius Fox says, I'm not going to help you. And one of the board members like to volunteer, because even though if Lucius Fox were not willing to do it, he's have no choice but being taken hostage by Bane and the rest of the League of Shadows, or the League of Assassins. Especially Miranda. So now this means they're being taken hostage, and they have to go in the one place that is underground. And things are not gonna go well. And now that and Bruce Wayne says, I'm afraid of dying. I mean, my own people back in Gotham thing. And then the doctor tells this story about you said, I know that child. How did the child make that climb simple? I mean, because of what happened back then was during an interesting story. I mean, the mercenary was in love with this woman, or this daughter, or the princess of the daughter, and they wanted to get married, even though he fell in love with her so quickly from time to time. And and then the mercenary's wife is with child, gave birth to child, and because of that, because of what the king heard about, is he banished the mercenary out of his palace and putting him straight into prison. But when news reached about of the princess, or the one who gave birth, she kind of took the mercenary's place, because now that the mercenary can go free, even though he is sad that about something. So the mercenary was released, and the woman who was with child took his place. So now that the woman with child, and now she finally gives birth in the prison, even though it was the prison of I don't know the name, but it's not Arkham Asylum, but it was like the worst prison. Like, think of it like the most unhappiest place on earth that you cannot escape. Way worse than Alcatraz Island. So yeah, think of it like Alcatraz Island, only worse. You know, except that it's not San Francisco. Only it's a country that is not the city of San Francisco, but it's near the palace of the village of that. It's like no entrance, no escape. But you can escape if you make the leap of faith jump, or someone like the penitent man. The penitent man shall pass from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And so, for that matter, it is going to happen. So now that the mercenary is now gone, of course, and then usually the doctor was there, but there was this terrible incident. The doctor forgot to lock the door, and the woman she was being attacked. But the one who was kind of so once again, if you want to know, so how do I say this? Oh yeah, so oh yeah, if you want to, let's see. Oh, it's a tragedy. Yeah, the tragedy that goes from here and there, and the child definitely survived. However, the mother was not so lucky because she was killed by the hands of these bandits. So yeah, lost a life by the hands of bandits. It was just not a good way to grow up. I mean, you're growing up in a prison, and all of a sudden, you make this friend, which is the one little most happiest thing of alive. How can anybody expect to see that a little girl would try not to go insane? Simple. She has a friend. But one day then this man who made the friend was attacked, and this child actually lived by escaping the prison, making this giant leap of faith. And that's what the doctor told him, and Bruce Wayne is starting to put the pieces together. I mean, wait a minute, this child, he says, whoa. So, how in heaven's name he's gonna figure this out? Then he went to sleep, and then he was having this kind of, and then, oh, he didn't went to sleep. Of course, the doctor says this vertebrae has to be put back. It's out of place. And so we must fix your back. And then he kind of puts the backbone in place and like hit his bottom or his back so hard. Oh my. You think this is going to work so well? I mean, yeah. Having your back broken, getting your back fixed is not the best thing, but it has to work. Otherwise, you're not gonna start walking again, and you're having your stunt growth or growth spurt, whichever works best. And so, for that matter, he was having this treat. Now he's finally went to sleep somehow, and the doctor, when before he went to sleep, he says, stand up stay like this until you stand. And it like, yeah, stay like this until you stand. And now he'll stay like this until he stands. Now he went to sleep, and now he's having this nightmare. And guess who appeared? It's none other than Ra's al Ghul. They call it Ra's al Ghul, Razmataz, or whatever. And he says something about he is immortal and all that, and Bruce Wayne remembers something about, you had a child, and he said Bane is your child. Really? Bane is his child? I mean, so Ra's al Ghul's son is Bane. It's kind of like this. Like, hello, Dad. I'm your son. Hello. I look at hang out with my girlfriends there. I'd like to have a hand. Yahoo! No, that's not. I'm just messing with you guys. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, I'm sorry. It's. Yeah. And then, you know, Ra's al Ghul, look, why can't they come up with a better name than this? What's the matter with you? So, he decided, because he says people in Gotham are not allowed to live and must be allowed to die. And, yeah, then Bruce Wayne finally wakes up, and it was a nightmare. He had nightmares like this before, but he knows he has to stop. Now that Bruce Wayne has his back to normal, I made a pun. So, and now he says no, and then now he says to the doctor, because if he wants to stand on his own, starts to take baby steps. Now he's starting to walk a little bit normal, and then he's starting to get the hang of it, and now he's back to normal. And now we go back to Wayne Enterprises, and now that these two, these two plus one of the board members, and now Dr. Leonard Pavel is now into the working on on this nuclear energy for Gotham for years and years and decades to come, and now he's turned it into a proton bomb. And he asked one of the mercenaries to remove the cores. He says, no, don't do that. If you do that, it'll decay in a matter of months. And he says 12 or 9 or 12 on my account. And the bomb will explode. And he says, for your sake. And he says, for your sake, Dr. Pavel, I hope it does. Because I'm a beautiful gypsy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if Bane is that beautiful, because even though he sounds like a gypsy, he is not the most beautiful kind, because he's a mercenary who wants to break bones. It's just, that's his thing. And no, he's not using the Titan formula, because he's not using the Venom formula, the Titan formula, okay? Because, why? It does not exist in the Christopher Nolan verse! Because it wasn't there! Because it only happened on Batman Arkham Asylum to Arkham City, and not to mention Arkham Origins. The TN1, if you want to remember. TN1! And also parts of Arkham Knight, if you want to remember. about that when Joker was donating blood, and then Batman was cured from Joker's blood poison, and you think he is absolutely cured of the blood poison. Well, he is, but not entirely, because for those who are ingestated from the Joker's blood too long will become the Joker themselves. It seems that the Joker wants to have a pass on the torch destiny, so that his blood or his spirit or his life would absolutely live, to have their minds a little bit renewed and make his own. So that did not go well with the easy peasy. It's if only you knew, Joker, if only you knew. So what do we, something, okay. Now it's becoming a nuclear bomb. There's only one thing left to do. Bane's wants to have a big audience, but he wants to eliminate the officers of the GCPD first. So, in order for him to do that, he doesn't want to kill them. He wants to trap them under the tunnels. So, yeah, trapping them under the tunnels is a more likely way to solve the problems for Gotham's police department. And now Officer John Blake was hurrying to the hospital. They were going to eliminate the mercenaries, or the League of Shadows, are going to eliminate James Gordon out of the picture since he's in the hospital. And guess what? John Blake has to hurry, even though James Gordon was kind of like one or two steps ahead of what's going on about those who were planning to plot to kill him in the hospital. James got the upper hand. And Officer John Blake finally sees the bodies of the dead mercenaries of the League of Assassins, and then James Gordon points the gun and says, "Play the corners, rookie." Yeah, now he's alive. And he says, "Go get my coat, son." And he's going to get his coat. So now, it says something about, I can't believe the mayor thinks it's a training exercise. What is he thinking? He's at a football game, which is the Gotham Knights. If you want to know, if you want to know whose team of the Gotham Knights is, I'll give you a biggest clue. It's an NFL team. Who won several Super Bowl victories from decades, including in the 21st century, and it's none other than the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NFL. Not to mention the NFL Hall of Famer Hines Ward, who receiving the football during the kickoff for the Gotham Knights. It is wow. And you'll see the other rival team, of course, the mayor. If you want to know who is the kicker or the punter, is none other than the mayor of Pittsburgh himself. And he wanted to kick the football in the kickoff, and that was wow. That is absolutely amazing. You see Bill Cowher, who's going to be an NFL Hall of Famer. A former coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's just wow. This movie is like amazing. It kind of broke the curse, which it did about the third movie curse about what is going to happen. The first and second movie's great. The third movie's terrible. I would say the third movie of The Dark Knight Rises is not as terrible, if you want to know. So yeah. It is not terrible. If it was, I would have told you that by now, but it's not. And you hear, oh my gosh, and then you started to hear the national anthem by one child, And Bane says, "Oh, such a lovely song. I love it so much to death." But even though he doesn't say that, he says he's such a lovely voice for such a lovely song. So, yeah, I mean, the NFL, you see tight end Heath Miller, the quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, Bill Cowher, and Hines Ward. It's just the NFL of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh my gosh, this is fun. The NFL team members are in the DC comic universe. Wow, the NFL is part of the DC comics, and I'm guessing Marvel perhaps, because I don't know. If Marvel does show a part of an NFL team, I mean, it's fine, but it's absolutely great. And I mean, it's not terrible. It's awesome. But I am going to hold off for that time right now, and I believe why. Because this is a good stopping point for me. That's why. And thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And tell me, what do you guys think of the Dark Knight Rises movie? Do you like it or hate it? And mash that like button if you guys like Batman movies, such as the story topic of what I'm telling you itself. So anyways, this is Leo Wolverine saying and speaking as always as your sensational special being. I know this is part 4. Who takes chances, makes mistakes, and get messy in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. So anyways, Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember, the Dark Knight is always watching you, and so am I. See you guys next time for more of Arkham to Win Day!